Hailing frequencies open, and welcome to Star Trek Discoverage, the live podcast that boldly goes into excruciating detail about this week's episode of Star Trek Discovery. I'm your host, Aaron Coker, aka Caliban, and in Mirror Universe Circus, Spotlight sweeps you. Joining me on the show, as usual, is my co-host. She's also the co-host of the Generations Geek podcast, a more or less family-friendly celebration of geekdom. It's Ella Pearson. Ella, welcome back to Discoverage.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. It's the 19th week of 23 weeks of Trek, and too late to help us at all. But I saw something really neat on the internet the other day. Somebody built a diehard, what do you call it, advent board. But it was like a 3D version of Nakatomi Plaza, you know, the tower. And then as Alan Rickman falls down floor by floor, you open a door every day on that floor. And then when he hits the pavement, then it's Christmas. That's how you know. It's not Christmas until Alan Rickman falls off of Nakatomi Plaza. We always know this.
And you just take, is it chocolates in every
Yeah,
box?
actually, it's probably bullets or something. I don't know what's in the I don't know what's in the boxes. Bits of broken glass, probably. Yeah, but
Duct tape.
next time next year I'm doing a Star Trek advent board or whatever it is. But we'll talk about that next year. Also returning to the show tonight, a world-class cosplayer coming to us all the way from Germany. It's Mo from Sound of Cosplay. Welcome back, Mo.
Thank you. I'm actually Austrian, not German, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. That the worst sin. I apologize for that. Yes, Mo is Austrian. It's great to have you back aboard. Yeah, you haven't been part of Germany for a while. Yeah, it's great to have you here. And let's see, it's been a while since you were on. You were on of March of last year, I think, and so much has happened in the world of Trek since then. What'd you think of some of the other shows? What'd you think of Picard and Lower Decks?
I loved Lower Decks.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was hilarious. Like, it had some troubles because every show has some things that people don't like about it, but overall, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Picard, I didn't like that much. I know a lot of people loved it, but it just wasn't my thing, I guess.
Huh. Interesting. As far as Lower Decks goes, I find that, it's drama travels well and comedy doesn't always travel well. And I know that you're very fluent in English, but did you find that some of the jokes on Lower Decks, like were you right there getting all the humor and everything?
Usually. I think there's maybe one or two times every episode that I would have to wait for the subtitles to come out.
Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. It's something weird about comedy is that sometimes it can be so specific to certain places, but that's good. That's good. Are you working on something currently for your cosplay?
Yes, so many things.
Tell us.
I have this long list of things that I want to do, but college is a lot of work right now. So
yeah.
On my list right now, I started working on the Adira, the Earth Defense Force uniform.
Sure.
I want to redo pretty much all of my Stamets cosplays because they're getting old and falling apart.
Okay, sure.
So all of those are on the list, and I think the next one will be Mirror Universe Stamets because I already got the dagger. It's been lying around since I made it in summer, so I've really been waiting for this.
That's really cool. Some of the costumes have been so intricate recently. I've been really impressed by, I love Admiral Vance's costume, and there's just so many little bits and bobs in the way that he's got the kind of shoulder things, and then he's got I just noticed tonight, I don't know if it's plastic or metal, but he's got shoulder toppers, sort of, that make his shoulders kind of flat, and I would just love to, I don't know how I would ever pull it off, but I'd love to do something like that with Admiral Vance's costume.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. And I was also oh great, new things to cosplay, but then they released this video of Gersha Phillips, the costume designer, explaining all the new costumes, and it was just they're so complicated. She talks about how they had to step it up because they're now in the future and things are even more sleek and beautiful, and now it's just impossible to cosplay. Like I was like, oh, I'll be a hologram. I'll be like the fun hologram guy with the bow tie. And then like there was this video, and she said, oh, actually, I don't know if you can see, but there's like this really, really tiny, almost invisible print on it that we got printed just for this one costume. And I was like, great, now we can't do it anymore.
Every new character is just, how do we screw the cosplayers? They'll never catch up to us now.
Yes, right?
Well, we saw a lot of great costumes tonight, a lot of great Mirror Universe uniforms tonight. And, oh boy, that last outfit with Giorgio was something else.
Yes, I loved her crown.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, stunning.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about how much work that would be. That would be, it's just a lot of work. My fingers hurt just looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
I was more worried about it falling off of her head. Every time she turned to look, I was like, oh, slowly.
Same.
She's a physical performer, though. She can handle that. She knows what she's doing. Well, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Mo, for being here tonight. We're going to get right into it. No real news tonight. We're just going to talk about what we saw tonight, which was the 9th episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Terra Firma Part 1, and we're here to break it down for you. And before we start, as always, we're setting a course for the spoiler zone listeners, so be warned. We're glad you've decided to join us, but if you haven't yet seen the episode, spoilers are incoming. The official synopsis for Terra Firma Part 1 is the USS Discovery crew journeys to a mysterious planet in hopes of finding a cure for Giorgio's deteriorating condition. Stamets and Adira make a stunning breakthrough with the newly acquired burn data. This episode was written by a couple people. The teleplay was written by Alan McElroy, and the story was written by Byo-yeon Kim and Erica Lippold, along with Alan McElroy. The episode was directed by Omar Mata. This is his first directing job for the Trek franchise. No star date for this episode, but the calendar date is 3189, and of course we flash back to the Mirror Universe calendar date of 2255, assuming I'm sure they probably use the Roman calendar still. Of course they do. Here's a fun fact about our episode. This is one of now 14 Star Trek episodes with titles that come from Latin, and I suppose next week we'll make that 15. Of course, Terra Firma means solid earth, and it seems like it serves as something of a motto for the Terran Empire in this episode. As far as guest stars go, David Cronenberg returns briefly as Kovich in this episode. Rika Sharma reprises her role as Ellen Landry. We last saw her as both the Mirror Universe and Prime Universe Landry in Season 1. That didn't turn out too well for her, but she's back thanks to time travel. And Paul Guilfoyle plays Carl in this episode. And he is a quintessential that guy, one of those character actors that you see everywhere. He's got over 100 credits on IMDb, and he's appeared in films such as LA Confidential, Air Force One, and Hoffa. Before we get into our main discussion, let's scan for any new theories this week. I think many of the open questions that we had previously remain open, but of course tonight we have what Giorgio's ultimate future will be, or past, I suppose, in this case. Do you think that the result of all of this will obviously be a sort of character resolution for her, but do you think that this will be involved in getting her back to like the main timeline to do her little show? What do you guys think?
Mo, you go first.
I mean, I really hope that she will stay in the Prime timeline because I really love her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a way, it's like either she returns or she dies, right?
Well, that's what they seem to have laid out for us. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So, like, I just hope she returns.
I felt like that was a really huge step too, having David Cronenberg tell us, yeah, you can't time travel that much. You might fall apart. And I wonder, I'm trying to think of like all the time displaced characters in Trek, like if this is, something we should worry about. Like, maybe Kirk never could have been happy with Edith Keeler. If they'd brought her back to the 23rd century, she would have de-rezzed when they got there. But this is kind of a big signpost or a big roadblock for Trek time travel going forward.
Well, he did say it's people who time traveled in also like a universe that wasn't their own. So like if I went to the Mirror Universe and time traveled, then I would, glitch out. But if I time traveled in our universe, I'd be okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine Mir Ella. But yeah, that seems to exacerbate the effect. It does kind of seem like, I mean, we knew that she was going to be repositioned somehow, for the JoJo Section 31 show, but it does kind of seem like they're like, you got to go back in time or you die. So that's how we're going to basically justify, like, yeah, she's got to go back somehow.
I guess I was more concerned. I wasn't really thinking about JoJo like at all, like where her character was going, because I was so concerned with like these events are like exactly what led up to the first season. So I was stressed that if she changes anything, like she already hasn't killed like Mir Michael, I'm stressed about the implications.
Yeah, and of course, we see what happens to Mir Stamets, which would really complicate the last half of season 1. So, yeah, I'm not sure if this is, if she's actually back in time or if this is some kind of vision or something. And of course, that leads us to the next thing that I wanted to bring up: theories about who Carl is. What is going on with Carl? Why are his jokes so bad? What's his?
I think you mean good.
Oh, good? Were they good?
Fantastic. I think you mean top tier.
I mean, we can come up with a better door-related Star Trek joke than that. Like, what do Star Trek Voyager and a door have in common? A closed door have in common? I screwed up my own joke. It's tough to get over the threshold. Anyway, we'll move on from there. Do you think that he is like some part of the planet, or is he some godlike alien? Like, what are your theories? What do you think, Ella?
I guess his first like 10 seconds on screen, I thought it was going to be Q. And then post those 10 seconds, I fell into another 10 seconds of just a deep, deep depression, wondering why would Q ever be in that doesn't make any sense. And then I was kind of like assuming that it's some kind of like almost like TOS era like alien where like we don't know what he is. We don't know what he wants.
Right.
Like Tom Bombadil energy.
By Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have any yellow boots, but I did get a Tom Bombadil feel off of him. Mo, what do you think? Any theories?
Yeah, I probably would have said the same. Like, I would go with he's like AQ, not PQ, but maybe one of them.
Sure.
Like a nice one.
Yeah, hopefully somewhat nice. Doesn't like to be disrespected. There isn't any reason that Q couldn't be on Discovery. He's been on every show so far, right? Except Picard. And you'd say that he's not on Enterprise, but if you know what happens at the end of Enterprise, I mean, I guess technically he kind of is on Enterprise. So 3 seasons in, that's enough time to wait to introduce Q. My money, and it's not good money, but I think that he is maybe like a Q type thing. Maybe not the Q, like Mo said, but a Q.
I mean, I have my fingers crossed.
I was trying to figure out, what do you think that Carl is in reference to? Or is it just a fun name?
I think it's like an old man name.
Yeah, me too.
It's like a fun old man name.
I think you're probably right. Go ahead, Mo.
Like, just a name like that you like, like a person that you feel that you know, but you don't.
Ooh.
Very,
interesting.
Like, basic name.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like a deceptively kind of basic name.
Exactly.
I would throw out Carl Sagan. Maybe it's a reference to that. Maybe.
Sweet. I didn't even think of that.
But he didn't have a turtleneck, so probably not Carl Sagan then.
Sick hat, though.
Yeah. Since we haven't had Mo on the show before, I'm kind of interested to know what she thinks, if she has a theory about what the burn might be. And also, like, what's the deal with Disco being abandoned as we see in Calypso, and if that has any connection to what's going on right now. What do you think, Mo?
I honestly have no clue at all at this point.
Yeah.
Like how they just touch on things, every episode like a bit, but never bring up any actual solutions. So I just kind of stopped guessing and will wait for what happens.
That's just along for the ride. That's kind of how I feel too. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, you're on the same page as us.
We'll get there. Like they'll let us know. Yeah,
just twiddling our thumbs.
Well, in this episode, we go to a brand new planet, which is called Danis 5. I couldn't really get anything out of that, but and like we said, there is a strange being on there on that planet that reads a newspaper and has a door that he asks Giorgio to go through, and she ends up in, we don't know, a memory that she's reliving. She's actually there. It's some kind of pocket reality. We're not sure. And it seems like, and maybe you guys can help me with the interpretation of this, but it seems like she's going to try, it's almost like evil Quantum Leap. Like she's going to try to do things differently. She's going to try to, like, change the past and set right what she thinks went wrong the last time. And I'm wondering how that will turn out. It seems like it's not going to be good, but I'm wondering like what the final effects of that could be.
Well, I mean, anything, right? Because if Mere Lorca doesn't take like Prime Lorca's spot, basically, then the entire events of the first season will be completely different, right? Mo, what did you think?
Yes, but I have a theory about this. So,
oh, cool.
I have the theory that it can't be the actual past. Because from season 1, we know that Stamets, Mirror Universe Stamets, of course, joined Lorca, then betrayed Lorca, turned on him, and ruined the plot to kill Giorgio.
Right.
But in this version, he tries to stab her. So
sure.
It can't be the same, right? Because there wasn't any influence on him or on any characters around him that are influencing him.
Yeah.
To kill Giorgio, that his mind would have changed, right?
Yeah.
So it couldn't really be the same.
That's a good point. Yeah, his motivation is totally different then. Huh. So maybe it's like a big holodeck or something, or
probably.
Or maybe it's just a big like 3D real world therapy session for Jojo, like helping her get over the choices that she made that she's not comfortable with. She also, we saw earlier in this season that she was experiencing like these flashbacks to some other scene that we haven't seen, where seems to be mourning somebody with blood on their uniform. And I haven't read a lot of the supplemental material, but I heard somebody or read somebody say on the internet that was maybe connected to her nephew, or like the guy that takes over after she's gone in the Mirror Universe. And I can't remember the character's name, so I probably shouldn't have brought him up. But I'm wondering if you guys have a guess as to who that might be.
I mean, I honestly, and maybe this is just me being wrong, but I had been assuming that was Mirror Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So
maybe it's not just me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree. I'm just wondering if that is like she's actually experiencing her memory there, or if those because she's so tight-lipped, she doesn't share anything with anybody. So it's not like she had that experience and then went to have a coffee clutch with somebody and be like, oh, I just remembered this thing that happened. Like, is that like a vision from what's happening to her right now that's coming back through time? It's very confusing. I'm with Mo. I'm still just kind of like waiting for like, okay, well, that was weird. I hope I find out what happens someday. I wonder if this will, because it looks like, I don't know if you guys watched the next time on, like a preview for next week, but it looks like things will continue, and she'll try to, I don't know, like rehabilitate Michael or try to get into some kind of deep conversation with her about like, where their lives are going, what they're actually doing.
Which it seems like Mirror Michael, she seems a bit unhinged. I don't know if
just a bit, just a little bit,
just a tiny bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like 10% unhinged, and so if Giorgio's plan is to like rehabilitate her, like I'm a little concerned for like her immediate physical safety.
Yeah.
And, also everything else.
I think it's really, I find this very interesting, and very confusing, but like, in a interesting, exciting way, because if they had when they had first picked up Mirror Giorgio, the Empress, like in the beginning of season 2, and if Michael Burnham got put into a thing like this, a reality or a holodeck or something, and the whole point of it was like to get her to just stop trying to put her guilt over, getting Giorgio killed onto Empress Giorgio, like sever that emotional connection. I could believe it. It would make sense to me. Like that would be a good thing. Mm-hmm. And she didn't do that ultimately. And it was good that she didn't, because she's not kind of making the Empress good. She's sort of holding on to that. But that seems to be like what this is almost. It's almost like somebody's giving her a chance to change what happened and to, strengthen her connection with Michael, not kill Michael maybe. And I wonder what the purpose of that is for Philippa, for Mirror Philippa. Is it to have her confront like her wickedness, is it to change her as a person? Like what would the goal, if somebody puts her into this and has chosen this scenario, like what's the goal? What's the change that they're looking to affect on Giorgio?
I mean, we don't know who Carl is, so
yeah,
if somebody, yeah,
maybe this is just therapist cute.
Carl, yeah.
Oh my God.
Carl Jung, there you go. If he's a therapist or a psychologist, maybe we're psychoanalyzing Giorgio here.
Maybe.
Okay, well, if the Austrian says no, then it's not it. Then okay, never mind.
Well, we have no clue. So like, I would go with this is the therapist Q, and he just travels around to let people relive their memories and confront themselves. And
yeah.
I don't know.
He does.
Q. This is what he dedicated his life to instead of annoying Picard.
Yeah, he's an actual like socially responsible, positive Q. I like that. Plus, hey, he's got a cigar, and sometimes a cigar is not a cigar; it's a Q.
And also an Adirondack chair.
That too, yeah. Of course, he's got that. I wanted to talk really quick about a really interesting little throwaway line that they have at the beginning of the episode. Cronenberg, who we just call him Cronenberg, is talking to Culber, and he's explaining Giorgio's condition, and he uses the example of Lieutenant Commander Yor, who was a time soldier that worked for the Time Directorate or whoever the Time Cops were. And he basically implies that he was originally from the Kelvin universe. So he's from a separate universe, travels through time, gets the same syndrome that Giorgio does. And I think that's like the first like acknowledgement of the Kelvin universe as a separate reality in the prime reality in Star Trek.
Is it actually? Because I caught the thing. He said that thing about a Romulan mining vessel.
Yeah,
but is that like the first time that they've like actually said it on screen?
I believe so, because it's always been the other way. Yeah, we've seen Prime Spock in the Kelvinverse, but we've never seen it from the other direction. Yeah, and I guess in the Prime universe, it'd just be like, yeah, remember the time that weird like ship showed up? That was weird, and then that's it. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, and I thought it was cool. People were speculating online when they saw the season 1 TNG uniform, like is he a 24th century guy, or what's the situation? And it turns out no, it's way weirder than that. I didn't recognize that race either. They had like a dinosaur head and neck situation going on.
Some frills.
Yeah, he was
in the back,
a frill-based creature.
And really weirdly, like the uniform just looked so funny to me, like how it fit around his dinosaur neck with this really wide neck hole, like this awkwardly wide neck hole.
Yeah, they had to cut that one a little extra big, I think. What else happens in this episode? We see that Stamets and Adira are working on this message. They've uncoded a lot of it, and it turns out that it is a a message from a Kelpian ship or a Kelpian crew that was sent by Starfleet to, I think they said it was like a dilithium nursery in the nebula to explore this thing. So it just gets curiouser and curiouser about like what the actual burn is. And all we can really do is speculate about the circumstances. And I wonder how Captain Saru will feel if he learns that a bunch of well-meaning Kelpians somehow caused the burn.
By, like, screwing with the nursery somehow?
Yeah, or just, like, accidentally, pushing the wrong button or something, and oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If their ship is intact, though.
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah.
But even if it was the Kelpians, like, they were, at this point, they were part of the Federation for a long time. So
Yeah.
it really could have been anyone, so it wouldn't affect anything.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Saru is his journey as captain is continuing. Obviously, I kind of liked that he. It's kind of funny because they're always going to the admiral and they're like, "Can we have the keys to the car?" And he's like, "Fine." And then this week, Saru,
Be back by 10.
yeah, I almost feel like Saru was kind of making a decision. Obviously, like he laid out the logic for his decision, but I almost feel like he was trying to sort of be like, well, he always says no, so I'm just going to say no. And this time the admiral's like, oh, I think we should do this. I think this is important. And then he gives a little talk to Saru after that. So I think it's like I like Saru as a captain so far, and I think it's important to make mistakes, but at the same time it was like, oh, whoops, screwed that one up.
Oh yeah, I think he was like a really like mediocre captain this episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Not wanting to save Giorgio and then being like with this important message about the burn, and he was just like, oh, "It's a Kelpian," and I was just like sitting there like, we already know that the Kelpians joined the Federation. Like, this is not new information. Concentrate on the burn.
Yeah. Yeah, you think that he would have already like studied up on that or something, but he seems to be totally fascinated by what he's seeing.
And also, how long has it been since he saw a Kelpian, though, also?
That's true.
Sad. I mean, completely right. And go off on Saru for being distracted, but I was kind of like, oh, he hasn't. It's a hologram.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that vibe check on Admiral Salt and Pepper? Like, did he have ulterior motives this episode? Are we assuming that he is nothing more than what he appears to be? Because I flip-flop back and forth on whether I trust him or who I think he is. I mean, like, every day.
Yeah, that's a good question. At this point, it would just be so cliched that he's a bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time,
a little.
But yeah, at the same time, I try to think about like where he fits into the constellation of what's going on, and we, excuse me, we already saw in an early episode this season that Discovery, sure, they can blow some stuff up, but their mission is to unite here, right? They go to Earth and they get the guy to take off his bug head, and they make nice with the EDF, and they're here to like build bridges. And so I know that like our Wicked Witch of the West, Orion Queen, seems really evil, but I feel like we're not just going to blow her up. I feel like we're going to try to like build a bridge there, have the Emerald Chain give up their evil ways and like join the Federation and kind of unite everybody. Mm-hmm. So if she's not going to be a main bad guy, we still are going to need a main bad guy, though. So I guess I'd say if she's going to turn good, he's bad. If she's just going to be bad to the end, he's good. That's what I think.
Also, how many episodes do we have left?
There should be 4, right? There's 13 episodes. This is the 9th. Yeah.
Yeah. So another Mirror Universe 1 and then 3.
3 back in the prime. Yep.
Just we're running short on time. I feel like it's ticking. Yeah. The clock is ticking down.
Yeah, we'll know soon, whatever the answer is. We see Mirror Saru tonight, which was a little tough to watch after seeing him, of course, be the captain of Discovery and seeing him so low. Although I think Doug Jones deserves an Emmy just for being able to brush hair in those giant alien gloves of his. Like they've got him all made up. And he's brushing hair. And Saru, how do they even know what hair is? But yeah, I like that. I like that scene where she's sort of talking to him and getting information from him.
Also, just like Saru's reactions to
Yes.
like Mir Saru being like, why is she asking me these questions?
Right. Yeah.
And her actually feeling for him in the
Yeah.
scene in the common room bar area thing. That's character development for her. I'd say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think we're seeing
Feelings for a Kelpian.
a little different side of her. And of course, she spent so much time with another Kelpian. We get to see a lot of the crew, the mirror versions of them again. And did Owo have that like wicked scar in season 1 when we saw Mirror Owo before?
I don't remember. I was looking at Mirror Universe Kalba the whole time.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because I just noticed on her left cheek she's got like this scar coming across, and I don't think she got it in the fight with Reese, but. Of course, everybody's got the real smoky eye going on with their looks. Speaking of eyes, I loved in the sort of performance circus scene where everybody's so the Emperor is just kind of sitting there watching everything, and then it seems like everybody is looking sideways at each other. You know, it's like Kayla's looking sideways. They're all like, yeah, we're all ready to do this, and then she just. Bam! Just stabs Stamets, and everybody's like, "Whoop! No coup today." sometimes you just have to cancel a coup.
But like the murder plot was so bad. Am I the only one who thought that? Like he was obviously holding this knife, like everyone could see it.
Yeah, but it seemed like everybody.
This was the worst assassination attempt ever.
Yeah, it was very open. Yeah, it was on stage. But it seems like everybody was in on it. Do you know what I mean? But like the second she killed him, I feel like everyone was just like, no, I'm on your side. I was always on your side. Good job. You stabbed him. Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I'm wondering if this maybe was just a plot to get Stamets killed because it was such a bad assassination attempt. But also, we didn't actually see Kalba's reaction to Stamets dying, so I'm wondering if they they know each other, right? They were playing this, whatever it is, electroshock hand thing together.
Yeah.
So they do know each other. I'm wondering if they're a couple there too, and they didn't show us his reaction on purpose, so it can come up next episode. Because in the trailer, we see someone in a red uniform get beaten up by Saru. So like,
oh, okay,
that could be him.
Like he turns on Giorgio for killing Stamets.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like if I would mask my reaction if maybe my boyfriend tried to assassinate the Emperor and then got murdered on stage. I feel like I'd be like, oh, and your smoky eye looks lovely tonight as well. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I still like the idea that they're just pranking Stamets. You know, it's just like
they're just like, yeah, dude, you should totally try to kill her while she's on stage.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, what if it's the Ides of March and Casca runs up and tries to stab Caesar and nobody else does anything? It's like, oh, I'm the asshole. Okay, all right, I see. Sure. What else? I'm pretty much done with all the things I wanted to say. Did you guys have anything that you wanted to talk about or discuss or cover?
I was looking at the costumes the whole episode, to be honest. Like they remade all the costumes just for these 2 episodes, I guess. Because Ella, I think you saw them too at Destination Star Trek. They had this exhibition of all the mirror uniforms, and they were so beat up. So obviously they didn't reuse them. But they have like a lot of really subtle redesigns going on there.
Okay.
That look really amazing.
Huh. That's
Sorry,
cool.
I'm just laughing because Mo, we go in this exhibition of the costumes and we like walk over and Mo's like, do you see this? this has Velcro under it. Gersh's never said anything about it, but I know there's Velcro under it. This is so good.
This is my problem with the first season. It's like the worst thing for me because Mikey is the only one who ever takes off her chest plate, right?
Right.
Which is why it's Velcro. But the whole in every scene you can see the Velcro just barely together. And it's so I'm the whole time, every time I see these episodes, I'm just like, why did you not make a second chest plate that closes properly? But they didn't. But now, now there's new chest plates, everything's new, so I'm happy.
Okay.
That's for season 2. Also, we said very similar things when they built the bridge of the Enterprise, and then obviously now they announced the show. So I feel like the Mirror Universe, their uniforms are going to come in handy. I'm assuming.
Hopefully.
Once they start the Giorgio show, Section 31 show? I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they would definitely have to... You think that you would get more... You get flashbacks, or you dig into Giorgio's story more. Yeah, that'd be fascinating. I'd like to see a young de-aged... Not that you wouldn't have to do anything to de-age Michelle Yeoh, but mirror Giorgio kind of doing things like we saw in the Brightest Star short trek, when we saw Lieutenant Giorgio contacting Saru on his planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking forward to all that stuff. Hopefully it'll happen. Well, I think that is it for our show this week. Thanks for joining us, listeners. If you like what you hear, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at EISTPod for updates and to get notified when episodes of both Enterprising Individuals and this show, Discoverage, are released. And you can tweet to us on the show using the hashtag Discoverage or email us at eistpod@gmail.com. And while you're on the internet, why not head to your listening platform of choice and subscribe to our show feed. Give us a rating and a review because it really helps us out. And if you like the show, tell a friend. Discoverage will return next week, December 17th, for the 10th episode of Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, entitled What Else But Terra Firma Part 2. We'll be here next Thursday to cover it. We'll be going live once again at 7 p.m. Central Time, so join us then. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook at EISTPOD to get notified when we're live and broadcasting. And in the meantime, check out our main show, Enterprising Individuals, at enterprisingindividuals.com. Every Wednesday on the show, I and a special guest discuss in excruciating detail a selected episode from a Star Trek series. We also have news from the Trek Sphere and interviews with special guests. Our latest episode just dropped, and on it I'm joined by Doctor of Media Studies Joymi Baker to talk about mythology and mythic story elements in Star Trek. It doesn't start and end with Apollo in Star Trek. There's a lot more myth there, and we talk about that on that show. You can hear that episode at enterprisingindividuals.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Ella, thanks as always for joining me to talk about tonight's episode and remind people where they can find you online.
My podcast is called Generations Geek. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts and everywhere on social media. We're on like a mini hiatus, which means that you have all the time you need to catch up. We have everything from King Kong to Lord of the Rings, Mishmash. Awesome. Go off.
Awesome. Check that out. And Mo, it was great to talk with you again. Thanks for being on the show. And where can people find you and your work online?
Thank you for inviting me here. All my accounts everywhere are called Sound of Cosplay, so that's where you can find me.
Sure. Sound of Cosplay. Okay. And that's it for us. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we are signing off. And this is Aaron for Ella and Mo saying, live long and prosper. Okay.